Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video, and today we have a Golem, the main guy in the deck. So you see here, he does 284 damage. Now that is just massive. So dead damage again, 284. That is again massive. The Golemites again do 58. Now isn't that wonderful for level 5? For 8 Elixir, it is really good to see a card do so much damage. 284 for one shot, maybe 2 shots from the Golem, and it's pretty much good to go. And the fact that it has a lot of hit points, it'll at least make it to that tower, at least explode kind of near the tower if there is not a lot of troops near the surroundings. So if that is the case, then probably it should be pretty good to go. But then this is the main card, this is the highlight for this deck itself. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Before that, make sure you subscribe to the channel for Clash of Clans or Clash Royale content. Make sure you leave a like and make sure you click on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my Clash Royale updates. Okay, so here is the first replay, and it is pretty much a good starting hand from us. So we have the Elixir Collector, and I probably will be thinking that I'm actually going to be dropping in the Elixir Collector. Now, if the opponent does not again have any counter for the Elixir Collector, it should be pretty much really nice. And the crying emote actually does say a lot. It actually does give me a sign that he does not have the spell or maybe anything to actually deal for that Elixir Collector. So it's pretty much easy to deal with the the Dark Prince, and we're gonna zap the Witch just so that we can actually get some more damage. And the Mega Knight again is really good. It actually does so much damage, and it actually does around how much damage I actually don't know, but then it's pretty much good, really good in fact, and it's pretty much gonna help you a lot. So the Pekka again coming in over there to actually take down the the Witch. So again, this guy is countering the push pretty easily, and the fact that he actually, I don't think he actually knows that I actually have a Golem. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue, but then I actually don't I'm actually not getting any words right in my mouth. So I'm gonna put in another Elixir Collector because I probably know that this guy actually does not has any counter for it. So it's a pretty good sign, and I'm gonna take that into advantage, and I'm actually put in the Mega Knight over here, not the Mega Knight, the Mega Minion to deal with that. So I'm gonna start over with the push. I'm gonna put in the Golem kind of towards the back. The fact that I'm actually wasting up Elixir, but then I actually drop it right now. So one Elixir Collector should be in a position to actually give me some elixirs, which will be helping me a lot. The fact that it's actually going to give me 2 more elixir is really going to help me a lot. So again, the Pekka will be dropped in, and we're actually going to drop in the lumberjack as well. We're actually going to zap that down to take down all the skeletons to help us push towards our way. So we're pretty much good now. The fact that we're actually going to drop in the Elixir Collector, and the fact that I've actually said you that the Golem is actually doing a lot of damage. It actually dies. It does around 284. That is truly awesome. It's really high enough. 284 when it actually dies, and then 284 again when it's actually going to hit the tower. So that is pretty nice to go. So I didn't let the Mega Knight do the damage to both the Golem as well as the tower, or it would have been a really big problem. So Pekka again is in rage, so it's definitely doing a lot of damage. As you can just see, the Pekka is going to take them down. All the skeletons are down because of the Golem's death, but then this guy does not have any good building to actually stop the Golem from actually going to that tower. You see the hit points has been brought down to 1100, and we're not gonna let this Dark Prince actually do damage to that, because he's actually gonna do a lot more damage when he's on the push. I mean, when he's on the charge, when he would not normally be. So I'm gonna push over again, putting in the baby dragon, because this guy is actually dropping in skeletons, which are actually spawning from the witch. In fact, he's not dropping in the witch, is actually dropping in the skeletons. And again, the damage it actually does is really nice to see. Again, the Golemites, when they actually die, they're again gonna do some decent amount of hit points removal. That's really nice again. So I'm gonna put in the lumberjack. I'm not gonna let this guy actually do a lot of damage to me. So again, 2 Elixir Collectors pretty much doing the job. Again, you see the amount of elixir we have in our side is just massive. It's a real big regret for this guy for sure. The fact that he actually didn't bring in at least a fireball to actually deal with it. It would pretty much be a good counter for the Elixir Collector, and 32 hit points more, 1 more slam from the Golem might. They actually did it. So it's a really close battle, but then we actually get the victory down on our way. Okay, so here is the second attack, pretty much the same strategy as before. we will be using the elixir collector to its full potential, we probably have to use it. So if you are worried about the elixir collector, if the opponent has a counter for it, maybe a fireball or maybe rocket, then what you actually have to do is put in the elixir collector on the other side of the lane you're actually pushing in. So in this case, I'm going from the left side. So if that's the case, I'm going to put in the elixir collector in the right. So what that's going to do is actually going to drop in the fireball towards the right. So it's actually not going to do damage to both the towers, which we are actually going to go from. So if the opponent is actually going to come up and push from the left side, then you actually don't want to put in the elixir collector on the left side. You actually want to put it on the right side. That way you will not be doing damage to both the tower and the pump. So that is pretty much a advice I would actually like to give. It's really going to help you. And this guy is pretty much unfortunate. He actually didn't use the miner to take down the elixir collector, which is really nice. It actually does a lot more damage than you can actually expect. So again, we have the Pekka there doing some massive amount of damage, but then it's not our rage, but then it's the opponent rage. I actually thought for a second it's our rage, but then it isn't. So we're actually going to drop in the Golem gang, and the bandit is being taken down. So we're going to drop in the lumberjack as well right behind the spare goblins, and this guy is going to drop in the electro visit, and the lumberjack is much better than the electro visit, and he actually does zap it right before the lumberjack actually gives it a shot. So the lumberjack rage spell definitely did give us a lot of boost, and that's the reason why the Pekka gets 2 shot, pretty much paid for it. Pretty much have to deal with a lot of hit points over there. So 800 and something, 829 is the hit points mark at this point. Well, this guy has to deal with 2360, which is pretty high in fact. And again, the baby dragon does lock on. We're gonna put in the elixir collector, and right after it, he actually drops in the miner. Pretty much unfortunate for him. So actually gonna drop in the lumberjack, and we're not gonna let the Mega Knight actually connect to the tower. In that case, we actually will be doing a lot of damage. You see, again, the lumberjack actually did a lot of damage, and the rage spell he actually is going to drop in and again does a lot of damage. The Pekka is going to take 1 slam on it, but then the lumberjack again has a lot of hit points to deal with. So again, we're going to drop in the zap, and we're pretty much going through a lot of hit points damage over here for the tower. So 1200, it is going to be a big push, and then he actually does deal with it by dropping in the Mega Knight over there. So we're dropping in the what is that? Oh my goodness, the electro visit is down, and that gives us a clear sign that the tower is down. In fact, he actually would have countered it. He actually had the golem to actually deal with it, so it's pretty much game over for him. Pretty much a good battle. We actually don't want to use the golem right till the very end. It should actually come out as a surprise. That is something you actually have to keep in mind. So we get the victory, 1 star, pretty easy for us. So there you see the golem. You just see the amount of damage it actually does when it actually is going to explode is just enormous. It's just massive. And the fact that we actually are going to take in help from the baby dragon, the lumberjack, the mini Pekka are the cards which will pretty much help you get that tower there. So it's a really cool deck, trust me. It's really good. The elixir what is this? The elixir collector, if you can actually get the opponent not to actually attack on it, then it should be pretty much good to go, because it's actually going to give you so much more elixir. It's going to give you 2 extra elixir when you actually are going to drop in 6 elixir. So it's pretty good, great when the opponent does not actually put in any card for it, but then if he actually does, then you might end up in being in some trouble. So yeah, thank you so much for watching till the very end. I'm Ayrus, and I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, goodbye.